Hello, good afternoon, and welcome once again to our Leadership Garage podcast series. We're here once again with one of our episodes. So I'm saying good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where it is that you are listening to us from today. I am joined today by another awesome guest. Her name is Jennifer Mwangangi. I have known her now for quite a number of years. She is a powerhouse of a lady, and she will be speaking to us today. How are you, Jennifer?
Good, thank you, Mercy. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I am good, and thank you for saying yes to agreeing to be with us on our podcast today. If you're joining us for the first time, let me just remind you that this is the Leadership Garage podcast series, and you might be wondering why are we the Leadership Garage? First, it's because we are all about leaders, and we want to sharpen you as a leader. It doesn't matter whether you're in a big or small organization, you're a parent, you're a teacher, you're even leading yourself. We are about leadership. We speak leadership. We eat leadership. We sleep leadership. But then why the garage? The garage is an analogy that we like to reference because it's a place where we go to fuel up, to gas up, to do those checks on our bonnets, to even do a car wash to look nice, bright, and beautiful. And so that is why we call it the Leadership Garage. And today, my friend Jennifer, I'm going to ask her before we even dive into the topic for today. Jennifer, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience today? Tell us more a little bit about you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Mercy, for having me. I'm pretty excited. Well, I'm a trained diabetes educator, which means I train or help people with diabetes manage their diabetes better and also prevent it for those who do not have. But my day-to-day job is that I help corporate clients to set up wellness programs for their employees so that they're tapping into that high performance. Yes, less sick, less days off, and they are vibrant and healthy at work. Yeah, that's what I do, Mercy. I'm also married with two beautiful, beautiful girls, aged 13 and 16. So we're in that stage of teenagehood, but it's exciting and all.
Yeah. That is great to know, Jennifer, and well done for being a mother and a wife to those, a mother to those awesome girls, because leadership does start with us and it does start from our homes. And teenagehood does bring some challenges to it, but love to hear that you are loving it. Now, you've referenced something very interesting there about high performance coming from wellness. And what I hear about wellness, I think what I think about wellness is about looking after yourself. The same way, like I mentioned in my introduction, that we look after our cars so that they can give us high performance. But now we're talking leadership. Would you share with us a little bit more insights? What is this wellness? Less sick off days, less all that you're saying. Why is it important? Why should I, as a leader, even be concerned about wellness?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Mercy. It's a conversation that I love having, and it is it's simple, but we've complicated it, because wellness is different for everybody. Yeah. I keep saying and remind.
Don't worry.
Thank you, Mercy. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I'm happy to discuss high performance health. And because I keep saying now, we need to redefine success. And, and we need to put this wellness and well-being, your own well-being, somebody else's well-being, because we are all different, into the success equation. We need to fit it in there, because as you're setting high goals of scoring, I don't know how many marks if you're a student, and if you're a leader, attaining $5 million in terms of sales, where is wellness in it? Because if you're not well, if you don't have that heightened and sustained levels of energy, if you're not showing up well at work, then how are you going to get into that goal? It's very, very hard. So I'm encouraging corporates and even individuals to ensure that their leaders are able to take in this thing that is very individual, being engaged at work, but without burning out. Burnout is what we need to really look out for, so that you are showing up and showing up fully. All right. You're not sacrificing your happiness. You're not sacrificing your health. Yeah. And it's a good conversation to have with everybody, because like I said, everyone is unique in their own ways. Your well-being, Mercy, is defined differently from mine. I define mine as just being able to get up in the morning, set up that breakfast for my two daughters, because my husband leaves early in the morning, driving them to the office, to school, and then me getting to my office and being able to be vibrant throughout the day. For me, that's wellness. That's my well-being. Others, it's something different, So being able to tap into that individual definition of well-being is very, very important. So what's important to you? How do you want to show up in a day? Do you want to show up vibrant? Do you want to show up with heightened, sustained levels of energy? Do you want to show up happy person, good moods? Yeah. So wellness is different for everybody.
Yeah. Wow. When you're talking about that wellness and the need to sustain it, and I bring it to our analogy of car performance, is the same way that you own a car. You cannot run it without servicing it, without doing an oil check, without, if you can, I'm not saying you can, but guess what? It's gonna run out of gas on you. And lo and behold, it could happen in the middle of traffic. You could be rushing for that meeting that is so important with our client, and your car lets you down. And so what I'm also hearing you say, Jennifer, is if I am leading people, if I have a team, if I'm an organization, I want my team to bring me a certain bottom line on my P&L. But I cannot just focus on that alone and forget to look after the team and forget about their well-being, because when I do that only, I'm going to end up spending so much more. They will burn out. They will take more sick off days. I'm probably paying insurance for them, so that is more money out. And at the end of the day, what was my big focus, the bottom line, I may not quite achieve it because I have neglected a very important core, which is the well-being. But let's come now to me and you, the individuals. You've said it's different well-being for different people. But how can I, as a leader, given the space you're in and the things that you observe, can I look after myself as a leader to prevent, so that I'm also taking responsibility and not just leaving it to my employer? How can I be responsible with my well-being? What are the things I need to look out for? Jennifer, tell us.
I really like that, Mercy. And I love the analogy of, I don't know how you came up with this, but I love the analogy of the car and the human body. And it is they're similar in so many ways, yes? The other day, Mercy, my car, for the very first time, on the dashboard had that light of check engine. I have driven that car, Mercy, for the last 10 years. It's going to be 10 years this year. And
it served you well.
It has served me well. And I am those kind of people who will not drive, number one, with quarter tank of fuel or the little bit remaining. I don't
pushing it, the red light on, okay?
Waiting and just saying we'll get there. I don't do that. I'm really careful with my car, because it is one of my support systems. Remember, I said earlier that I drop the kids to school, so it's my support system, right? So that analogy between the car and the human body is simply amazing. The moment I saw the light, I knew, oh my gosh, we need to check this. And it was actually check engine light. It wasn't a simple, check oil or something, or there's no water. I don't know whether it shows that. But check engine is such an important one. So I thought, let's get this to the garage as soon as possible. So we got that done, and it was an ignition coil that was off.
Yeah.
I mean,
but it gave you peace of mind because you knew, you checked it and you knew it was fine.
So what are the cues? So what are the cues in our bodies? Are our bodies sending those messages? Do we have that dashboard? And we do, because our bodies actually send cues every day. You being tired is not normal, Mercy. You waking up in the morning and you're feeling really, really tired, not normal. Feeling headache in the morning, not normal. You know, we've normalized these things, but it's not normal. It's your body sending those cues. So are we going to the garage, or are we listening to the body? The way I ran to my mechanic to get that check engine done, are we doing that? And are we doing it on time? Because guess what, Mercy? I realize also that because we have busy days, we keep on doing what?
Push it back.
Yeah.
I'll go next week. Yeah.
I'll go next week, you know? But what my mechanic taught me that day was, if I had delayed, my car has 6 of those ignition coils. So that was one gone. The next week could have been another one gone. So more expensive. And same as our bodies, same thing. If you're not addressing one thing, it becomes, the body starts tearing up. So one of the things we need to really look out for is our bodies are sending us cues. Our body is our dashboard. That cue coming on and saying, hey, you need to check your energy levels. They are going down, just like the engine, check engine light. The lights are being sent. So it's us as leaders to ensure we are adhering to the cue and we're listening to our bodies. That's number one. And a very, very important one. So are we listening? The body is talking.
So listening is number one. And listening, not just listening, but listening and taking action immediately, not waiting, not deferring it, because you just never know. Because anyway, after all, Jennifer, all these things I tell people, I tell my clients all the time, you're working so hard. When you don't listen to that cue, when you're tired, and God forbid, you end up with a heart attack, you go 6 feet under, you get replaced so fast.
Very fast.
None of us is irreplaceable. So we need to look after ourselves. Great. So what's a number 2 tip you can give us, Jennifer?
So I had
taking action.
I know, I had to. So one was listening and taking action. And those are just the cues that the body is sending. But then the second one is actually a question.
Yes.
What is your pause button? What is your cue? What is your, how can I call this? The pause button, right? What is that pause button for you? Because if you're not aware of your pause button, even if the body sends that cue, you won't know what to do. So we all need to be aware. What is your pause button? And I loved something somebody shared. I read it somewhere, I can't remember where I read it, but for organizations, and they were asking if the organization sends cue questions, you know, asking an employee in real time, like today, this morning when you come in, how are you feeling? How are you really, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you doing?
Yes.
And this has made a huge difference in the organization place, because when an employee says, I'm at 4 out of 10, then you know, you're not waiting for a time bomb. You're not waiting for this employee to collapse. And then they are now given off days. This is where now organizations go and start checking. Okay, let us look at are these guys taking their off days? So what is your pause button? So when the body has sent you that cue, what do you do to be able to, number one, is it going on holiday? Is it sleeping more? Are you not sleeping more? Is it you not eating well? Is it you not drinking enough water? What exactly is it, right? What do you need to do? Because you can't just pause and do nothing. You can, resting, but that's even resting is an action, right? because you're tired.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And Jennifer, there's something I want you to speak into here, because both you and I are residing in Kenya. And I have seen this practice quite a lot, whereby, yes, I'm taking my pause, and my pause means, in this case, I'm taking my leave days. But I take my leave days, and instead of resting, that's why sometimes you say, I was on holiday and I come back and I want to take a holiday from the holiday. Why is that? I take my leave days and I go and run my second and third hustle. So really, I'm not resting. Can you speak to us about that and the danger, as it were, of doing that and not taking time out to rest and rest properly?
Wow, Mercy, it's such a big thing, in all honesty, because in fact, besides food, for me, the rest I have seen is one thing that we are not doing more. So like you said, somebody takes their leave days, and instead of going on leave, they go and start doing other things. Believe me, when you're given leave days, it's for you to go and rejuvenate mentally, physically, emotionally. So this is where you need to find, what can I do right now to enable me to recover very quickly? Yes, recover, rejuvenate, so that when I go back to work, I am showing up at 100% and not at 80 or 70 or 60. By the time you're going on leave, you're probably at 40, 50, 60. Yes. So if you take your leave and go to shags and go to start farming, hello, that's still work.
Exactly.
That's not
exactly. And that's what some of us don't get. They think because I'm out of work, I'm on off duty. Now, something else also you've mentioned there, Jennifer, I want you to unpack for us a little bit more, is you talked about food, the way we fuel up. And, cars, there's no way I can take a petrol engine car and top it up with diesel, or vice versa. Yeah. So what is the importance here that I need to do and understand how I need to fuel up, how I need to eat a proper way? Because you're helping people who are diabetics. It has a lot to do sometimes with diet and exercise and all that. So you can combine those two. Tell us, how do we look after ourselves on that front so that we can still have that high performance?
I really like that question, Mercy. And this is where I say simplicity wins all day. When I talk about food, let's not complicate it. Is the food one ingredient? Is it one ingredient? This is water. There's nothing else in it. So I'm not talking about soda. Soda has 100 other ingredients that I don't know of. Some I cannot even pronounce. So we're talking about a one ingredient. An apple is an apple. An avocado is an avocado. Maize is maize. Let's simplify food like that. The moment you do that, then you're actually fueling. Like you said, a car cannot go and put, a petrol car cannot go and put what? Diesel, or the other way around. It's the same thing. Food is our fuel for this body. So the moment you put in soda, unfortunately, I'm going to burst people's bubbles. Unfortunately, our bodies don't recognize soda. And that's why soda and all other packaged juices are metabolized in the liver. They cannot be taken into our bloodstream. The body can't break it down. It doesn't recognize it. So could we please go back to simplifying things and just taking one ingredient? This is ugali, it's ugali. It is sukuma wiki, it is sukuma wiki. It's pasta, it is pasta. Let's not have these things that are made in a factory. They're not growing in a plant. They're made in a plant, which means they're manufactured in a plant. The bodies are not recognizing it. And the moment you take in that as fuel, guess what? Just like a vehicle, it will not run properly. It will start jacking, number one. Number two, it won't give you mileage. And the performance of that car will probably be not very, very good. Same thing with food. And that's why my second point was, the first one was listen to your body. The second one is, I have discovered, Mercy, an amazing tool. This tool, I like it because we need reminders, Mercy, as leaders. I know for sure if that Beko did not have that dashboard to be able to send the cues and the lights, we would not remember that, oh, it's 3,000 kilometers. I need to go and change the, yeah. So it's something exciting. It's something happening in the world, and I want to share it now. I haven't spoken about this before, but it's something called a CGM. All right. A CGM is a continuous glucose monitor. And I want to tell our viewers today, yes, it's a medical device, but it's not for people with diabetes. We are now seeing, have you seen Kipchoge wearing a gadget here? Around.
When he's running, yes, yes.
So any leader right now who wants high performance is actually doing it. What is it for? It just checks your sugar levels, because now we know sugar is actually your energy, right? Sugar drives the body, just like the way fuel drives the car. Sugar drives, the glucose drives the body. So the moment you have spikes or high sugars, which are caused by us eating a lot of mandazis, cakes, drinking packeted juices, taking the wrong foods, or rather, taking too much sugar in our body, we have that spike. And then the drop is when we probably haven't eaten. And some of us are very good at that, yes? You'll sit there and you're working thinking, it's okay, food is not important. Food is very important. In fact, the moment you delay eating, the brain starts slowing down. You're not thinking as...
And you begin to feel sleepy.
That is so true.
I've been a victim of that. Yes. I am a victim sometimes of that. And then I wake up, like, I shake my head. I'm like, okay, what's happening here? Then I remember, oh yeah, I need to go and get something to eat.
Yes.
So you're right. You're right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I love this gadget. And it's not, like I said, it's not for diabetes patients. Yes, it does measure blood sugar, but for any high performer, anybody who wants high performance, please try that. It's new in the market. I mean, it's not new in the market. We've used it to measure sugars for diabetes patients, but we're now seeing a lot of people doing it. I did it a month ago, and it's for 2 weeks. And when you wear it, it basically, yes, it sends reports to your phone that, you know what, Jen, your sugars are like important times are when you just about to go and work out, after workout, because sugars drop before you eat, after you eat. In fact, there's a patient of mine who told me my life, because at 1 o'clock he's had his lunch, then you get to the office and everybody's munching a cake or whatever it is, and you jump into that plate and take the cake, and then there's a queue, and then he's like, what's going on? He works in France, and they eat a lot of these croissants, and when he's taking the second croissant, there's a message, and it's like, your sugars are at 12, sir. You cannot take anymore. So sometimes we need that in life. You know, that's that help, that cue, so that we're able to make better decisions and choices, right?
Great. So just for guidance to our audience, is this a gadget that needs to be prescribed by a doctor? And if so, then they need, of course, to get a doctor's prescription. Is it something they can purchase over the counter? And how can I go about doing it? Is it something to wear all the time, or some of the time? You talked about 2 weeks ago. Let's just provide some guidance on that, so that people are doing also the right thing with it.
I like that question. Yes, you have to get the gadget either from a registered chemist, and you'll find a doctor there, and they'll actually insert it for you. You can actually buy it and do it yourself. However, I prefer that it's an adhesive, but it's not invasive. So it's just something that you stick. It's a gadget you stick on your body. But you can get it from any chemist, I got it from a diabetes clinic. So any doctor can actually do that. And you just have to tell them that I want to monitor my blood sugars, and they'll be happy to do it. Number two, you for a period of 2 weeks. So it's 2 weeks, and then you can change the pack. They're two in a pack. So you can change the pack, and you can do it for 1 month. And that's the best time to actually monitor and see how your sugars are doing in terms of what you're taking in terms of fuel. Yeah. Are you sleeping better? It actually tells you if you have not slept well, your sugars are way high. Can you imagine? I mean, what an amazing discovery. And then number 3, it's make sure when you're getting the gadget, it is the one that sends all the entire report of the day on your phone. Because there's that option
so
as well.
You need a smartphone for that. Yeah. Awesome.
I would say yes.
There you have it. Jennifer telling us about the importance of looking after ourselves so that we can be able to have the right energy levels to be able to perform at the right levels. She's talked about listening to your body, having the cues. You know, our bodies do have, they send us cues, and you can be able to track this. Listen to yourself, take in action, taking time to pause. And she has also shared with us insights about a new gadget, the CGM, glucose, CGM. Again, what does it stand for? Continuous glucose monitor. So I was on the GM, I was forgetting the C. Continuous glucose monitor. And she recommends that you get this from a registered medical practitioner, preferably also from a registered chemist, so that you're doing the right thing the right way. So, Jennifer, in this podcast, we always love to ask our guests about the car model and make, model, year of manufacture. Why do you like it? What is your favorite car, and why is it so? So it's your turn to tell us about your favorite car, Jennifer.
As a lady, I don't know why people assume we don't know so much about cars, but I categorize cars according to how it's going to serve me, the performance. And because I'm tiny, I want to make sure that when I'm driving my car, there's no matatu or big lorries that are, intimidating me on the road. Yes. So I'm going to go with my choice. I want a big car, but I also want a very stable car on the road. So the body also has to be very, very strong. So I like my Jeep. I drive a Jeep, and it's a Jeep Cherokee. So it's very sporty, which means I can zoom on that road when I need to do it. Number 2, it's economical. And number 3, it has a very strong body. Like if you hit me, we'll be taking you to the garage and not myself.
You know what, Jennifer? I'm just loving your favorite car because I did host my own husband on this particular podcast, and for him too, he did state that he loves the Jeep. Jeep is his favorite color, car, and for the same reason that you've given, the speed, and the stability that it has on it. So it's very, very interesting to hear you say that is also your favorite car. So thank you so much, Jennifer. We do really, really appreciate you for taking some time out to come and share this awesome, powerful nuggets with our audience. I'm sure they will take away a lot of stuff, very practical, that they can go and begin to apply in their own lives. Yes, if you're running an organization or a company, you've also had the importance of you as the leader taking the initiative. But even if so, you don't have to wait for your employer to be the one to tell you that you need to look after yourself, because you need you for you to be able to perform the things that you want for yourself and even for that thing that you love to do. So thank you, Jennifer, once again. We appreciate you. And maybe you can have a parting shot to our audience, and then we will wrap up.
All right. So as I said, simplify things. Wellness or well-being is different for everybody. So what is wellness for you? All right. That's very, very important. And then bring it into the equation. The success, I don't know how you define success, but it's a high time that your well-being fits into that success equation. Very, very important. So whether it's to make $1 billion, where is wellness? Because without that energy, without that body, without you, then it's not possible. So let's bring in wellness into that definition. And number 2, listen to your body always. The body, the body is always right. Even when you go to a doctor's office, when they ask you what is wrong, it's because they don't know. Only you know. And you'll say, I feel like this and I feel like this. Yeah. Yeah. So let's take care of this because it's the only place you have to live. That's what they say. Yeah. Thank you so much, Mercy.
Thank you, Jennifer. And we come to the end of our Leadership Garage podcast episode for today. It's been about wellness. You need to look after yourself because at the end of the day, you cannot give what you do not have. And you need that energy. You need to be productive. And so look after yourself. Thank you. And looking forward to seeing you again at our next episode. For now, we say bye-bye and do take care of yourselves.